All right, fellas, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I know I posted in the beginning, but let me just read it one more time. It says the TikTok video that I posted. It says me at one of the boys y'all posted on the T app house because y'all said he got a horse and a trick. Listen. I'm gonna tell you guys this one more time. All right, girls don't want dudes who get no fucking bitches. It's very simple. It's literally that simple. I know a lot of you guys aren't in the field, so you guys don't understand that. So in today's video, I'm gonna explain exactly what the T app, reveals about female nature in general. All right. Now, like I said, a lot of you guys aren't in the field, so a lot of you guys don't know and you don't realize that, you know, all the stuff that you guys hear online is not true. Like, oh, I want an innocent man that's low key and has no followers. Listen, if that was true, then the dudes with low followers would be getting the chicks. But the dudes like Stephon Diggs with all the followers, dudes like me, dudes like my friends, that's who's getting all the chicks, right? Because everyone else is chasing them and reinforcing that fact. I didn't learn that, a quote unquote bad reputation with chicks, like, oh my God, like, he's smashing her and her friend. That actually makes more chicks want you because all chicks want something that they can't have, but they all see that you're already pre-selected by everybody else. You see what I'm saying? They see that other chicks already want to be on you. Now, obviously, if you say this on social media or you post on social media, like, do you want a guy who has other chicks? Girls are always going to say no, but what they do and what they say is two different things. All right, you got to pay attention to what they do. One thing that you'll always see when you're out in the field is dudes who have girlfriends, dudes who are married, dudes who, have multiple chicks are always attracting more chicks because they already have chicks, right? So they're not generally chasing as much and they don't give off desperate energy. But like I said, chicks like to compete with each other. That's what they're doing on the T app. They're competing with these, they're talking shit about these dudes, but then the dudes they're talking shit about is basically publicity, and it's making other chicks reach out to those dudes like, he has 102 red flags. Maybe I could fix him. That mentality, or I don't think he's, what's so good about him if 100 chicks were with him or 50 chicks were with him, right? That pre-selection. That's really what it's like. Because here's the thing. Let me just tell you guys, you know, a little story, right? So I remember I was messing with some chick, right? And yeah, I was messing with some chick, and then I was messing with multiple chicks at the time, and I didn't realize until like I saw their Instagram that they were all friends or whatever, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like they all know each other. Like what the hell is going on? Like it's just weird as hell. And then whole time they're like competing for my attention and shit. And I remember, two of the chicks were in the same group chat, and then I remember going through the girl's phone and like I was looking over her shoulder as she was texting, and I was in the group chat. I was like, yo, what is that? Scroll up. And she like scrolled up, and then it was like a picture of my profile on Instagram or whatever. You know what I mean? Like chicks only want dudes who other chicks want. It's literally that fucking simple. You have to get that shit through your head. All right, you literally have to get that shit through your head. Chicks rather share someone who has shit going for him, who has motion. You feel me? Than go for somebody who doesn't have motion. Like I tell you guys all the time about the NBA young boy shit. I tell you guys all the time about Future. Future has all those jits and shit like that. But guess what? Chicks still want him. Why do they still want him? Because he's pre-selected and he already got motion. You see what I'm saying? No chick wants someone with no motion. It's like you go to a club, right? And it's popping. You got to stand in line. Like you want to get in there because you're like, yo, why is it popping? It's always popping. I can never get, I can never get to the front of the line, even if I come early. Like what's going on in there? You're excited. Versus if you drive by a club, you know what I mean? It's open, but there's like nobody in there, right? You're not gonna want to pull. You're not gonna want to pull up to that. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly how it is when it comes to this pre-selection shit. All right, like if you guys need an example, go to a comment section. I learned a lot of this shit as well through like social media because I remember I would post, specifically, I mean, obviously on Instagram and stuff like that. Instagram's an easy way for like pre-selection to happen because you'll post a picture and then 10 chicks will like be like, oh my God, like I really want you. And then other chicks will see those 10 chicks, and then other chicks will see the 20 chicks, and then they'll just keep piling on, piling on, piling on. It's like monkey see, monkey do behavior, right? Nobody wants to be the one person that finds someone attractive. But if they find you attractive and they see other people find you attractive, they're like, oh my God, he must be a catch. You know what I mean? And then they start competing and chasing, and then they start messaging you, and things like that, right? So Instagram's a good way, but I remember on TikTok, on some of my posts where I used to get anywhere from 5,000 to like 20,000 comments, just on like post workout thirst trap bullshits, right? I would always put a caption of something like, "Oh, I'm toxic" or some dumb shit like that, right? Because girls like that shit. They want to fix somebody and they like drama and they like issues, right? They don't like peace and relaxation. All right, I know to tell you guys that shit, bro, chicks do not like peace and relaxation. All right, they love that drama shit. They love chaos. So I would say that, and so many chicks would message me like, "Oh my god, like what makes you toxic?" And then the comments would just be, chicks throwing themselves at me, and then on Instagram, chicks would be like messaging me like, "Oh my god, why are you toxic? Why do you think you're toxic?" And I was just getting all these messages and shit like that. But yeah, man, like here's the thing, when it comes to the T app, right? The thing is, like I told you guys, it literally just goes to show that all chicks are dating the same dudes. We already knew that, but I mean, hopefully this solidifies it for some of you guys. Like all chicks are sharing the same dudes, the same 10% of dudes. They're all posting the same dudes and saying, "Oh my god, I was dating him too. I was dating him too," shit like that, right? And it just goes to show that chicks don't actually want what they say they want, right? They say they want one thing online and they do another thing in person. They say they want a God fearing man, but when they turn off the camera, guess what? They're going for some hood dude with like seven baby mamas or some shit like that. That's just the reality of things. I remember when when I didn't have my shit together the most, like when my shit was all over the place. I was like, okay. I was telling chicks, I was literally telling chicks like, yeah, I live with my mom. Yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yeah, like I was all over the place. That's when I was getting the most chicks, right? I was literally getting and I'm talking about baddies. I was getting the most baddies from Instagram, shit like that. They're like, let me fly you out. Oh, let me do this, let me do that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, my life was like, at that point it was pretty chaotic. There's a lot of shit going on, and I was going through breakups and shit like that. But a lot of times, chicks that I've dated, obviously, I don't do research on chicks that like. I can't do. I'm not FBI like chicks are. Chicks are like FBI, so I can't do research like chicks do. Like I just meet a chick, I'll kind of feel her vibes. I'll be like, all right, let me date her and see what's going on. You know what I mean? But a lot of chicks I've dated, after we met and talked or whatever, they'll tell me like, "Oh my god, my friend told me about you. They told me you're trouble." And I was like, "How the fuck did you find out about me? And who's your friend?" Like that happened a lot. Like in a lot of the situations where I was talking to chicks, they're like, "Oh my god, like my friend told me about you. They said that you're trouble. They said don't trust you." And then I was like, "So why are you dating me?" Because they want that drama. They want those issues. That's why girls love the Love Island show so much, because it's a lot of just, it's obviously pre-selected men on there, but it's just a lot of drama and chaos. All right, that's why they love watching The Bachelor, right? They say they don't want a dude who dates multiple chicks, but they all watch The Bachelor. Just think about shit like that. Like you guys have to start watching what they do and not listening to what they say, because a lot of you guys listen to what they say and then you guys end up, happy wife, happy life, and the bitch isn't happy. She's cheating on you, and you're definitely not happy because you're doing everything in your power to make her happy, but she's not. You see what I'm saying? But besides that, the overall grand scheme of things just really shows like I said, it's pretty much like, yes, monogamy is pushed, but it's pretty much polygamy out here, because whether a chick is in a relationship or not, she's still gonna be on some cheating shit a lot of the times, or chasing her genuine desire. Genuine desire wins, and that's what makes polygamy present, and that's what makes shit like the T app happen. When there's one guy, smashing a bunch of chicks. But another thing about the T app is obviously the false accusations, which is really getting, is getting out of hand these days. Like chicks just saying, because they don't. If you don't get drawback for saying something negative, then you could really say whatever you want to. For example, if you say something negative about some dude, like, "Oh my god, he gave me this," and then they clear it up and they're like, "No, he didn't," nothing's gonna happen to you. Then it doesn't matter what you say. So like chicks aren't held accountable for a lot of the things that they're saying. Just look at the Sean Oakman situation. Just look at Trevor Bauer. You know what I mean? There's a lot of these situations where chicks aren't held accountable for what they're saying, so they just shit on people's names just to make it more drama, and create more drama because they like drama and chaos, right? So yeah, that's what the T app should teach you about female nature in general. I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna watch this and be like, "Oh my god, I give up on dating." Listen, I'm just telling you guys the truth. In reality, chicks are gonna chase the top 10% of dudes, and before the T app leaked, I already knew. I mean, I'm probably on there. I don't know. I'm not gonna search it. I'm not gonna waste my fucking time because I'm not even in the game like that no more. But I already knew the T app was gonna be some tatty dudes, some dudes with goals, some dudes who don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit, and some frat looking boys and stuff like that. I already knew it was gonna be that. It is what it is. Like we all know this shit already. It's not anything new. So there's still a lot of you guys that comment and stuff that think that dad bods prevail, that think that all you need is mouthpiece and money. There's a lot of you guys that still think shit like that, and that's just not the truth. The body game, genuine desire, pre-selection shit, the aura shit, that shit all matters. All right, it all still matters, and it all still reigns supreme.